Hello there, friends. This is Sue at Miller's Laboratory. Thank you for joining me again today. I am starting a new project and I thought maybe I would walk you through it like I did my last one, the flip-flop journals. People seem to enjoy that, so it's fun for me to do it this way too. So this is an interesting project because I don't usually start with a cover that's already done. I usually do my covers last. But this is a redo, and so there were some books that I had in my Etsy shop that had been in there for over a year, and I decided to pull them out and redo them because they're just languishing in there, and clearly they were not something that people wanted. So I pulled those out a little while ago, and I did complete one of them. I'll put the link below to the flip through of that one if you care to see it. This one will probably wind up looking fairly similar. But what this is an old Reader's Digest cover. And if I zoom it in real close, you can see the pattern there on it. It was quite a bright color. I believe it was red and green and just dark and not the prettiest. And so what I did with this was I painted it with gesso to lighten up the color, and then I used some crackle medium, I think it's Tim Holtz crackle medium on here, to create the random sort of crackle pattern. A really nice texture to that too. And then the spine is covered with this old bedspread, and that's as it was originally, so I didn't change that. And then I also just used a little bit of antiquing on here to make it look old. So on the inside, I added in these end papers, which are a really pretty digital from Sam Poole. And so this book is ready to be redone. And I'm going to be using a lot of flowers, a lot of pinks and reds, I think, because I just think it will look pretty with the cover. And so I'm not ready to do the pages yet because there are some digitals that I would like to print, and I am waiting for an order of my Epson presentation paper. So we're going to work on something else today, and we'll come back to the pages next time. I'm going to go ahead and set the cover aside. And I wanted to show you these peonies that I have here. These are from an Etsy shop called Ocelot Design, and I'll also link that down below too. I just think they're so pretty. And I printed these out on my printer as 4x6, and I think there are 10 of them. So I used, 2.5 pages of the paper, and then that was the last of my presentation paper. So I have gone ahead and cut these out. And fussy cutting I actually really enjoy doing. I'll sit in the evening and watch a TV show and do fussy cutting. And I've left this inner part because it just makes the flowers a little more stable while they're waiting to be used. But I'm going to show you how I cut those out. Okay, so these are going to be for tags, and so we need a base for those tags, and I'm going to be doing a master board here with this lovely old scrapbook paper that I have. I have a stack about that high of ugly scrapbook paper that I coffee dyed. So the back is nice and plain and coffee dyed and makes a wonderful back for a tag or a journal card. And we're going to do some collage over the front part so you don't see this bright pink. So I've got a tub here of papers, and I'm just going to start collaging. It's just like everybody else does when they make a master board. I'm not doing anything different here than anybody else. I'm going to try to do it fairly quickly. Oh, maybe I want that side. I kind of like that side better. Okay. So I'm using my favorite glue stick, which is this Up and Up from Target, and I think it works pretty well. Sometimes I have to go in and tack down edges a little bit, but really it's a good glue. So we're just going to see how quickly we can get this done, and I will try to stay in the middle of my camera field there. I tend to drift away as I'm working. I pull things closer and closer to me, And I've noticed on some of my videos that stuff's clipped off on the bottom, so I'm going to try to avoid that. These are some little collage bits that I have left over from the oh my goodness, the flip-flop journal project that I got done. These are those Roxy Creations ephemera pieces, and they're great for this collage. Just give you lots of little bits of different color and pattern in there, or, you know, font. And I did tear a few things out of the stuff I got at the library haul recently. I had a video of that too, and if you didn't see it and you're interested, you can look for that. I found some pretty good deals. I don't always, but it was worth it going to the library sale this last time. I try to get them kind of straight, but I don't worry too much that they're perfect. I like the randomness of it. Let's see here. Well, let's grab this. I like the look of the paper when it comes out of the notebook. I like those little shreddies. It can be a little tricky to get those glued down, and you have to glue them down over something so you can see them. So like if I glue that on there, there needs to be enough contrast so you can see them. So I'll hold off on that for a little bit. This is from some kind of a newspaper that I bought that was for people that do printing. And I opened it up, and this whole entire page was like printouts of these fonts, which is really cool. So, of course, I want to use that. That can go right there. So my plan is to collage this whole sheet, and then I will be cutting it up into tags. And I'll probably have to do, I'm thinking if they are, I think I'm going to get 8 tags out of this, and I'm planning to do 10. So I'll have to do 2 sheets, but I won't make you watch all of that. Tore it before I really knew where it was going to go. I guess we'll put it there. So I hope everybody's having a good day today. I had a good day at work today, and I'm glad to be home, but as I've mentioned before, my house is not air conditioned, and right now in Michigan, well, today I think the high got up to like 85 or 86 degrees, which isn't that bad. But my husband told me that he saw that the humidity was over 90%. So when you walk outside, it's almost like diving underwater, honestly, into hot water. Just very uncomfortable. Not fun. Fortunately, we don't have very many days like this. Just a few, usually. And we managed to get by. We lived through it. But I was thankful today to be at work with air conditioning, so I think we want to move that to go that sideways. I do have a window air conditioner in the bedroom window that my parents gave me, and I've never had one before. All my years here, we just got by without that, but they were moving and they got rid of some things, and I took that, and it does make it a lot easier to sleep. So I'm so thankful for that. That was a really nice thing to get. This is from a really grungy old ledger. And some of them I don't mind a cut edge, but sometimes I'm tearing the edge here too. Let's see, maybe up there. I'm not the fastest at this. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to continue to work but I'm going to speed this up. So in a second here, you're going to see me going really fast and watching me till we get to the end. All right, I'm going to turn off the camera and I'm going to make one more of these, and then I will come back and we'll see what's next. Be right back. All right, I'm back. I got my second masterboard sheet done and I got one of them trimmed down. What I'm going to do here is just trim these down so that the little bit of collaged over jaggedy edges are nice and smooth, and then this will be back to about 12 by 12. And I have my trusty little cutter, Carl rotary cutter. Show you the label on it. This puppy is probably at least 20 years old. I got it when I was teaching stamping classes. Actually, the ladies that I worked for gave it to me, and it was really great because you could cut a whole bunch of paper all at once. You can put quite a big stack in there and cut it. So I love it. I can still get replacement blades and replacement cutting mats for it, so as long as I can do that, I will continue to use it. These will probably wind up just a little bit less than 12 by 12 just because a little bit of the edge is getting trimmed off, but it's close enough. Little bits. Almost there. Then my thinking was that I will cut these into tags that are about 3 by 6. I think that'll be a good size for that book. All right, let me just get rid of these little scrappy doos. Okay, I'm not even going to turn it over. I'm just going to wing it. And I'm just kind of looking to see here. It's just a little bit shy of 12 inches, so I'm going to cut this just a little bit shy of 6. Just a little bit. You know what? Let me just make sure, because I do have a right side. Okay. Kind of wanted them to go this way, so I'm going to cut it across this way first, the 6. Okay. And we're just going to do the same with the other sheet here too. This is the other one. I can't remember which one I did first on camera, but it doesn't matter. All right, and then I'm just going to double check that these are lined up the right way, though I guess it doesn't really matter too much as we cut them this way. Okay, and then we're going to cut these about 3 inches. I can cut all 4 layers at once. I love that. There. edges a little bit. There. Okay. We got a whole bunch of tags here. All right, I'm going to get my cutter out of the way here. And I'm just going to start looking at where I want to put these peonies. So I wanted to show you, I told you I'd show you my little, I'm a cheater. I'm a cheater when it comes to fussy cutting. And here's why. Most people would either poke their scissors down in there to create an opening and then cut it all the way around, or they would use a knife and cut just around there and cut that out, which is great. And if you're going to use this for something that stands alone, you're going to have to do that. But I know that I'm going to glue this down, and so there's no reason why I can't just cut across that little stem there, and voila, we have, it's loose. But when I glue the flower down, it's going to get glued back down, so no one will ever see it. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut right across here too and do this second opening here. And I'm just kind of following the edge of the peony there, where I would, if I was just cutting the flower out, where I would cut. So the most important thing here is that once you go inside here, you want to end up where you came in. If you cut across here, you're going to cut a piece off. And you know, if you cut a piece off, you just glue it down like a puzzle when you put it on your tag or whatever, so that doesn't really matter either. But there, now it's all cut out, and when we glue this down, that will all be glued back together. So, okay. There's only one little spot here that I probably would do, and that's this little one right here. And I tend to sort of just follow the shape of something else that's there, and then, like, so I follow it along the edge of that leaf. And I'm just going in and cutting around the edge of that white. And I know you can't see, I can't see it very well either. And pop that off, and then there we go. That little piece is gone. Okay. I'm just going to go right in here through that stem. Cut that little bit. Actually, let's just go right across and get this other one too while we're at it. Because saving time is the name of the game and making it not so difficult. You do have to be careful not to tear it when you get these little floppy bits. This is why I don't usually cut the middles out until I'm ready to use them. I think that's good to start. We've got 3 of them. You're not going to watch me make all of these tags. This one's got a lot, so I'm going to set that one aside because that one would take forever. But it can be done, and you're just going to go in and you're going to go from one to another and cut all of those little white spots out. Okay. Let's work with the ones we have here. I'm just going to kind of spread these tags out a little bit, and we'll pick the ones that we like for each flower. This is a really beautiful red one, and obviously it's too wide, but that's okay. Part of it can get cut off, or you could fold it around to the back too. I kind of like that on there, but that's awfully plain up there. I think we can do better than that. What about this one? I kind of like that. I like that better, so I think I'm going to put that on there. So I'm looking around for my art glitter glue. I'm gonna pause for a second and I'll be back. Found it. Went all over the house and then it was just right here. Of course, that's how things go. All right, we're gonna just do a little fussy gluing here. And we gotta make sure we get all the edges really good, and all up in here where we have those funky little cut off stems. so that they glue down, and then you'll never know that I cut them. Oopsie, little squeezed a little too hard there. All right, I always go all the way around the edges first, really good, right up to the edge, and then I just kind of scribble it around in the middle. I'm gonna just spread that a little bit too, because that's kind of thick and I think that's gonna squish out. Okay, let's put that about, I think I want to see the bottom of that stem, so I'm going to come up just a little bit more there. Right about here. I'll smooth that down. And I'm just going to let that dry, and then I'll sort of decide if I want to fold it over to the back or if I just want to trim it off. Because right now I'm not sure. All right, let's see, we've got this pretty white one, so we want to make sure we've got a dark enough background that it's going to show up well. Ooh, I kind of like that. Let's see. A lot of these, because I go around the edge when I collage and make masterboards, so there's tends to be bigger pieces and less variation around the edge. And then I come in, I kind of like that too. All right, so we have this or this. I think I'm going to go with this. Okay. So there's that spot where I cut in there to get that opening. So we're just going to make sure and get a good amount of glue on there, all right up to the edges. So summer is definitely winding down, and we're feeling a little wistful about the whole thing because it goes by so quick. We're going to be doing a little kayaking event this Sunday, which should be really fun. It's always fun to get out in the boats. We have lots of wonderful places to kayak where I live, so I'm blessed. Okay, let's do this one too. Lovely, except for that blank spot. The blank spots, we can always come in and put something in there too, so I'm not going to sweat those too much. Oh, I do like that. Let's just see if there's anything else that we like better. I'm going to go with that one. Okay. So here's my little cut edges here. Just be careful of those. I mean, the kayaking, we could go every day if we wanted to. We're like 3 blocks from White Lake, so we could practically carry our boats down there and go if we were not so old and weak. But White Lake is actually a river, and so it's a long skinny lake, and really fun to kayak out there. It's not too rough usually, and you can continue on up the river if you want to. Get to see a lot of wildlife, and it's a really beautiful place. I live in a beautiful place. Okay. All right. Okay, so there we have our 3, and now I defy you to find where that was cut. You can kind of see it right there if you look really, really close, but no one ever would. Same thing on this one. There were little cuts there and there. And I was a little bit careless there, and you can see that's off a little bit, but I don't think anybody will notice. And then here's this one where I cut along the leaf, and you really can't see that one at all. All right. So I think to make things simple, I am just going to trim the edges of these rather than wrapping them around. And then I'm going to stitch around the edges too. So let's just trim them, cut our little corners off, and we'll see what they look like, and then I'll be done. I'm not going to have you watch me sew, and then I'll come back next time with other parts of this. And I am going to complete all of these tags. Well, all of the peonies will become a tag, so I will have 10 of them all together. The book that I'm making has 5 signatures, so I figure I can use 2 of these in each signature. And I kind of like how they sort of go together, which is kind of fun. Makes your book have a little bit of continuity to it. Kind of ties things together. All right. There's our 3 tags. Ooh. Okay. And then I just cut off a corner like this, and then I use that one for my pattern for all the others. So that tag's a little bit smaller. Just flip it over. And do the same thing here. And then you get the same angles on all of them, if that's what you want. I'm all fumble fingers. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, so there's our 3 pretty tags. And we might decide to put some labels on those or something, but I really like how they are just now. So thanks for joining me, and stay tuned for the next episode. Have a wonderful day. Bye.